and welcome to the Wirtz Winemaker Showcase. I'm Sam Bremer, Certified Sommelier and Director of Training and Development for Wirtz Beverage in Minnesota. And today we're fortunate enough to have Jerry Murray, winemaker for Duzer Vineyards in the Willamette Valley of Oregon with us. Jerry, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Well, I'd like to start a little bit with the unique name Duzer, these beautiful wine labels, and how does that correlate to where the winery is located?
Sometimes people think that Duzer is a family name that somehow relates to the winery lineage, which is not the case at all. It's a family name that's attributed to the Duzer corridor, which is a gap in the coast range of Oregon that allows cool marine air from the ocean to come into the Willamette Valley. So it's actually more significant than a family name in that it has a very profound impact on the wines of Duzer Vineyard. And as a result, we have the opportunity to make very distinct Pinot Noirs and Pinot Gris.
Wonderful. Now, you guys are also 100% estate, meaning you don't buy grapes from anybody else.
Currently.
How does that benefit you getting to work with your own stuff? And are there any challenges in just being 100% estate?
The real advantage, and the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages of being estate grown, is that we don't have to compromise at any point along the production process. I believe the wines are made in the vineyard, and that having complete control over that, making in the vineyard, gives us a profound advantage over purchase fruit.
Wonderful. Now, you've got a pretty cool history. You've worked in Germany, you've worked in New Zealand, you spent much time in the Willamette Valley before coming over to Duzer a little under 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Right? So how is your winemaking philosophy, and how does that work with the existing team there at Duzer, with Carl and Marilyn, the owners? Has it been able to mesh well? Do you guys have an overall winemaking philosophy together that you're using there?
We do, and Duzer gives us the opportunity to work with a very distinctive place. In addition to that, I like pretty wines, elegant wines. Pinot Noir should always wear a dress. So for me, the Duzer vineyard gives me the opportunity to do that. Even in the warmer vintages, we're still dealing with potential alcohols that allow us to make elegant, feminine Pinot Noir.
Well, now, most wineries in Willamette are known for their Pinot Noir. You guys also make a fantastic Pinot Gris that I believe just won. Oyster Producers gave it the top oyster wine in the United States.
Taylor Shellfish Award, shellfish out of the Washington area. They have a competition every year, and I think there were about 6 wines that won the coveted title of oyster wine. And it's because we are able to make a dry style that one of the advantages of the wind is bracing acidity, and my experiences in Germany allow me to make a wine a dry wine that is pleasing, and it goes very well with oysters.
And for your Pinot Noirs, you've got this beautiful small estate vineyard. I mean, it's only about 80 acres, right? Mm-hmm. But you managed to make your Vintner's Cuvée from the younger vines, the estate wine. You have several other single blocks. What's kind of the guiding philosophy behind each wine there, or is there a specialty behind each one?
Oh, it's really about the vineyard site. When you look at the geology and geography of the Duzer vineyard, it's pretty incredible. We have a diversity of slopes, a diversity of soils, and then when we sort of take that and bring in the Duzer effect, as we call it, different parts of the vineyard are impacted differently by the Duzer effect. So what we have is, though it may be only an 80-acre estate, it behaves like an estate much larger because it's so diverse in terms of the geology and geography. Absolutely.
And then we should mention Duzer without talking about your green practices. I know that you're LIVE certified, which is low impact viticulture and enology, salmon safe. Yep. Can you talk a bit about your green practices there at the winery?
We are. LIVE Low Input Viticulture and Enology is a homegrown program, started in Oregon. It was the first, and I believe still the only certifying agency for sustainability that's compatible with international standards. Recently, LIVE begun certifying wineries as well. So we are both LIVE certified in the vineyard and the winery. So the idea is to find sort of create an ecosystem. It's not a naturally occurring ecosystem, obviously, because it's European wine grapes grown in Oregon, but to sort of create a balance in that ecosystem that allows us to not need to resort to chemicals to control disease.
Wonderful. Well, Jerry, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure. And when you're out in the marketplace, please look for these Van Duzer wines. They're just a beautiful, elegant expression of Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris from a small family-owned estate vineyard in the Willamette Valley in Oregon. And thank you for joining us on the Wirtz Winemaker Showcase, and we'll see you soon.